Before
Yeah.
we start, just want to say welcome to Better Ourselves podcast with your boy Frank Rice. As you know, for people actually who follow me, who actually listen to my podcast, I'm sure like you already know this face. This is Lynnette. She's my friend. She's also one of my, my favorite guests. I have many actually. She's one of them that I really enjoy, recording with. She's actually an actress. She's a producer as well. She have a lot of talent. I don't even know how to describe her. But before we start, I just want to actually introduce yourself and let people know who you are
Yes.
before
Hello
we
to
start.
everyone that's in the room. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Swenson actress. My name is Lynnette Doby, and I am, as Phone Crease said, I am an actress, producer, director. I also do inspirational coaching. I'm a script analysis as well. That's something we can talk about, Phone Crease. This is something new I'm adding to
Sure.
the repertoire. But yes, I'm just an overall happy person, and I love to inspire others and just be their cheerleader as they're pursuing the things that they want to achieve. Hey,
All
crew.
right, so we're not gonna
Yeah.
waste no time. I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
straight to it. So the reason why we today is because I've been doing like a podcast, and I think it's gonna be nearly 1 year. Actually, I think it's gonna be next week. I've been just gonna be 1 year. I'll be recording, and I think Lynette was one of the people actually who really support me, and then you helped
Oh,
me to have good content on my podcast, and I have a lot of people today because of you. So it's just my way actually to pay homage, if I can say it that way. So
all
today
blessings.
we got a
Yeah.
subject today. We're gonna talk about eradicating self-doubt in 2021
Yes.
because a lot of people
Yes.
actually struggle with like, they want to do things, they believe in themselves, but they always feel like they always something that kind of push them back. So that's the subject today, actually. I think it's a subject actually Lynette actually choose. She's a person, she's very positive. She always, move forward. So why do you choose that subject, first of all? Do you think is it
Oh
like a lot of
gosh.
people can relate to this? Yeah,
Oh
go ahead.
yeah, because I can. I'll raise my own hand. I doubt myself so much. I have to literally practice to get myself out of it. And so what I wanted to do is this year in 2021, I don't have the luxury to doubt myself anymore. I'm pushing it out of the way. And if I can help other people push it out of their lives, let's get to it. Because it has no place in the equation of greatness that we're striving to build and to add to daily. So yeah, I definitely just wanted to help whomever I could with this.
But what do you think it come from? Like, like what do you think we should just like push it away, or we should how do you think people should do to kind of push that away? Because it's easy to just say to people, you know what, you gotta be positive and just don't doubt, you
Mm-hmm.
just believe in yourself. What do you think is the step that people should do?
Oh
Especially
my
people that have
gosh.
lower self-confidence?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked because
Damn,
because
oh
I just
God,
so
I was
happened to
like,
come with a little bit of tidbit of information.
man, she gonna bring a book today as well.
You know, you already know me.
Oh
Okay, so
man,
I have
that's
five
good.
different steps and
Yeah, go
five
ahead.
different
You got your
things that
time
I
here.
think they should address. Oh, sure. I think they should address. So I'll start with number one, which is truth. This is very
Yeah.
important. Tell yourself the truth of who it is that you are. Like one thing that I read in an article decades ago, Yoko Ono, she wakes up in the morning and she looks in the mirror, she tells herself, I love you. And she allows all the negative thoughts and ideas that will come into the mind once we tell something so ourselves so bold and beautiful. So many things will come into our mind and really just say, but what about this? What about when you do this? Like me personally, if I laugh really hard, I'll snort. I love that. It's corny, but I love it. And you've got to tell yourself the truth about who it is that you are and how you show up in this world. Because if you don't accept you, there's no way in the world that other people would. And to that point, contrary to popular belief, people think I wake up every day happy like this. When I was younger, maybe I did, but now every day it's a daily practice. At the end of my meditation, you know what I tell myself? You're going to be happy today because you cannot create if you're not that happy with what you have going on with yourself. So that's kind of where I start with the truth of assessing the situation and realizing how you can work to combat it.
Because I got people who always tell me like, look, every time I try to have this kind of talk, they always tell me like, you know what, sometimes you gotta be realistic. I cannot always be. I have a friend actually always tell me like, oh, I cannot always be like in the positive mood. I'm a human being. Sometimes I just gotta, let it go. I just have to fail or whatever. So what do you think about this kind of mentality? Because we feel like we always force ourselves to just be strong, strong, strong. And when you don't allow yourself to kind of fall down, is like, you kind of struggle more. I don't know what you think.
Well, I think that you always, well, I personally allow myself to feel whatever I feel. You know, if I feel
Yeah.
disappointment in something, I allow myself to feel that. If I feel exuberance in something, I allow myself to feel that. I give myself grace and space to be who it is that I am in this world. I can't hold that same expectation to you because we're two totally different beings, two totally different experiences. But I allow myself just to simply be because guess what? The world kicks us enough. We don't need to add to the list. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just allow me to feel what I need to feel. Sometimes I do feel insecure. Sometimes I feel shy. I'm not perfect by any means. But what I have mastered is how to dust that off, pick myself back up, and get to what I need to get to. So,
I think you're
yeah.
right. I think when it comes to eradicate self-doubt, I think love have to come first because you have to learn how to love yourself. That's why many people actually struggle because if you know how to, I mean, before you know how to love yourself, you have to know yourself first. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you have to, I always say to people, you have to love yourself for who you are. So how do you describe as loving yourself?
Oh my gosh. I want to piggyback to that truth component, telling your truth about yourself and then loving yourself enough to work on the things that are, you know, maintain the things that are wonderful and work on the things that are not. Like I have a personal story. One of my dearest friends is in the audience right now. And so I've been telling myself a truth that I've ignored about something very personal to me. And maybe I'll write a book or write a blog about it. But I have a tendency to evade issues because I realize that's the way that I was conditioned to do it. And so something pretty rough happened recently. And so I did what I naturally do because I was taught to. I evaded it. And my dearest best friend was like, he's my brother at this point. He was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh, I just needed a day. He was like, you had that day yesterday. Go ahead and get to what it is that you need to do. So not only do you need to know the truth, but also have people around you who will also help you see that truth as well, because we get into a complacency because we know who it is that we are and we know the things that we use to cover ourselves. So also have friends that help you live in that truth. And to get back to love, when you love yourself, you won't lie to yourself anymore. At least that's what I did. That's what I had to learn not to do. There are so many different people and so many different instances in which lives can be told. But when you truly love yourself, you stand up in different things and you say, hey, I could have done this better. Or maybe I'm conditioned to do this the wrong way, but I love myself enough to make a bigger and better difference. Does that make
Th-
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But when you say about, no, you said something about you love yourself, but you don't have
Yeah.
to lie yourself. What do you describe as lie yourself? Because that's kind of, how do you lie yourself? Are some people lie to themselves as well?
Oh,
How?
yeah. Yeah. Like being in a situation that doesn't fulfill you any longer. Like you and I click because we're reciprocal. We give each other support, friendship, and everything like that. Sometimes you can pour into people who have an empty cup, and no matter how much you pour into that sucker, it's never going to fill up. It's never going to get even halfway. So you've got to
Yeah.
not lie to yourself and realize that this is not going to be a situation that fulfills you any longer. People lie to themselves. They're like, oh, well, maybe this person didn't mean to do that. Baby, you can tell exactly how a person feels about you by the way that they treat you. It's a direct connection. And so we lie to ourselves because it's another truth that maybe we don't want to face.
That's true. I
That's how
think
I,
that's
I
where you
believe it.
start. I mean, you know yourself, you know your worth, you love yourself, and now you actually can eradicate all the self-doubt. But do you think the surround, actually, people around you, the surround count as well? Like the
Oh
people
my
that you
gosh,
have
of
around you?
course. Of course, for sure. Like I was telling you about my friend, he called me out. He was like, what are you doing? Handle this situation. You're getting back into that same pattern. You're lying to yourself. You're making yourself think that this isn't a toxic or bad situation. You got to face it head on and face forward first so you can definitely solve it. You can't just sweep it underneath the rug. You've got to have people who will support the positivity and your enrichment. If you don't have people around you that won't help enrich you, because it's not their job, but if they see you falling down on the job that you normally have to do, they'll let you know. And so that's what I think is the important part to it, like having good people around you.
Yeah, but I think you have to connect with confidence as well, because I was thinking when you talk about self-doubt, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
people, they don't really have self-doubt, but like they believe in themselves, they know they can do things, but the thing is, they just feel like they just care so much about what people say, people around you. Oh, I know I can do this, but I don't want to do this because I don't want people to judge me or people to say things about me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that comes with a lot of lower self-confidence as well. Do you think can you eradicate self-doubt while being like lower self-confident? Can you do that?
You know what? You and I are so in sync. That's number two.
Oh,
Confidence
really?
is, yeah, seriously.
Every time you talk about something, I'm sorry, man. I should just shut up, because
No,
every time I feel bad because every time I see some people, it's like, oh, he's already in the booth. I was like, God dang.
no, that's what it is when you're in tune with someone. So you're just, this is an energy exchange. So we're on the same page. So that's beautiful. But yes, my
I'm
number
glad. I'm
two
glad.
is, yes, me
Yeah.
too. My number two is confidence. And I'm going to define it first. It's defined as a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So to answer your question, self-doubt and the lack of confidence, they kind of feed off of each other, because if you don't believe in yourself and your ability, the doubt will come in and it will take over, because it's going to be justification for that. You have to know innately what it is that your gift is,
I think, yeah, go ahead. I
please.
think you have to be aggressive actually to break that ice, because I know people have talent. They know they can't do things, but you just feel like going out there, it's just too much, like too much people watching and too much people have judgment, and a lot of people gonna see you fail, even if you're gonna succeed. You're just scared about how people gonna react, Even the fact people gonna clap you, you're just scared of it as well.
Oh yeah. Like my friend Jesse told me, he's in the live right now, and he said people will talk about you regardless, whether you're all positive, do everything 100% right, whatever the case may be, people are still going to talk about you. So you might as well do you. Ooh, baby, that freed me. It freed me, because that's the truth. People will talk about you regardless. It doesn't matter. You could save every single stray kitten in the world. Someone will have a problem with it because you didn't go get them spaded or neutered after. You know what I'm saying? So it's, people will always have issues. That's the fallacy of man. It is what it is. But if you're true to you and your intentions are clean and pure and good, you will be okay.
Because I always say to myself, like, you know what, whatever you do, you're never gonna please everybody. Like, whatever choice you make in life, whatever thing that you decide to do, somebody always gonna get hurt, no matter what. Like, you can
No
be
matter.
whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how good or bad you do, somebody always gonna get hurt. You might as well just, be yourself. Because I feel like being yourself for me is like being perfect is being yourself, like if you know you are yourself, even if you are not perfect, that's being perfect because you are truly who you are. So
I agree.
coming back to eradicate self-doubt, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we spoke about self-love, self-confidence, and there is another like things that you think we should add as well when it comes
Yes,
to that. Yeah,
there
go
is.
ahead.
Step
I'm not
number
going to say
three.
anything else before you blame me for that again.
No, you're fine. Step number three is preparation. I
Yeah.
believe that you cannot show up and do anything if you don't prepare yourself. Hi, Demaxi. Hello. And readings by Callie. I saw you're in here as well. Hello, everybody. Preparation is key. If you don't prepare for something, you're not going to feel confident in it. That feeds into the confidence piece. Like every talk that I do, I write down my notes, because if I don't, then I'll be talking to you about what you got going on lockdown, how it is in
Yeah.
the UK. I have to be, I won't be focused. So it's important for me to prepare. And I wrote in my notes, there's no way you can erase doubt if you don't prepare for what you're presenting. And I just say that I take time to plan my look, my notes, what intentions I have for people. And then even before we move off preparation, I want to go to this. Once you remove your ego, and this feeds into the confidence piece, once you remove your ego and realizing you're being in service to other people, it takes you out of it, and it makes it more enlightening and more fulfilling for those who are around, because that's what I wanted to do. I want someone to get something from this message who might have needed to hear this. I needed them to leave here feeling some sense of fulfillment. And I think that that's because I removed Lynnette from the equation. It really isn't about me. I do these videos every Thursday because I want people to know you're not alone in what you feel. I go through doubts, self-confidence issues, self-worth issues, but you know what I do? I pack it all and put it in a box away, and I carry on anyway. And that's what I want everyone to do.
I think self-worth is very deep because yeah, I think it's like it really pull people down, like it just stop you to, to reach your goal and then to, just to push for whatever you want to go for. So you was
Right.
talking about being prepared. So how do you prepare
Yeah.
yourself? Do you have
Oh
to plan
gosh.
something? Because sometimes you
Yes.
feel like you have to compare yourself to others, or how do you do?
Mm-mm. Oh no, there's no way. And I wanted to say hello to my cousin. I saw she was in here as well. Comparison is the robber of all joy and happiness. I couldn't compare myself to anybody else. But what I do to prepare is every single morning I have a morning routine. I get up, I meditate, and I just sit in gratitude. And some days I don't, to be honest with you, it's hard for me to meditate. I'm like, oh, I want to get straight to the workout. But no, you've got to take that moment of stillness and realize how blessed you are to still be among the living. Seriously, I really do feel that way. I lost a dear friend this past February to stage 4 cancer. And there's so many people who want to be here. And I think it's kind of a disservice for us to take our lives for granted, because they would love to be here, but they can't be. So I just want to say that. So you spend some time in silence and meditation, and then I move my body, because I can't be good for anybody else if I'm not taking care of this temple that God gave me. And then I plan for the day, and that's how I prepare. And if I have an individualized task like today, I wrote down my notes. I asked God, matter of fact, because it's not even me, let's be clear. I asked God and my source to please tell me what I need to say to help someone who needs to hear something. So that's how I prepare, because at the end of the day, it's really not about me. You know me personally. I'm
Yeah,
corny.
yeah,
I laugh, I joke, I do what, but I take this very seriously because I'm a vessel. So yeah.
yeah. But how do you do like to prepare yourself to, because when you go out there, you know, the world is tough, you know, there's people gonna
Yeah.
hurt you, people gonna do a lot of things. How do you do to protect your mind,
Oh,
you know?
definitely. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, how do you do to protect your mind, like, you know,
Okay.
against all those things, you know, like to prepare yourself to always be strong mentally, to be ready for any type of situation? I have my take, I'll give you mine as well. So I'll prefer you to start.
Okay, sure. I would love to. Definitely the meditation piece, and also the self-awareness of who I am as Lynnette Renee Doby. Baby, no one can really tell me about who it is that I am. Like sometimes little things people will say snide about me, what might irk me for a second, but then once again, I have friends in my circle. My dear friend Jesse is like, wait, you let that bother you from that person? He's like, what are you doing? So, it's always knowing who it is that you are from the beginning, and don't let anyone counter that. People will pick it. I've had people pick it the way that I talk. They say I speak too proper, and then sometimes I don't speak black enough, all this different thing. Whatever, baby. I can't make all y'all
Really?
happy. I make myself happy. Yeah, I hear it all sorts of different things about me, but no one can really tell me about me because I know myself so well. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of guards me and helps me keep my wall of protection around myself. Just making sure that as long as I'm good with me and I'm not hurting anybody else, then the rest of what people say, it doesn't matter.
So
I'm
what do
not
you
living
think
for them.
what people describe like you don't talk black enough? How do they want you to talk?
I,
Like,
who
I
knows?
think there's certain way black people should talk. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what it is, but
That's their
there's
ignorance.
a
That's what it is.
but I think like it's very important, like to feed when I think about when you go out there, you have to prepare yourself for the crazy world. I feel like we have to be prepared mentally. The way we feed like the way we feed our body with food, and we should use the same energy to feed our mind as well. Like you do,
Yes.
like you should, like you meditate. What I do myself, actually, I
Mm-hmm.
watch a lot of things. I don't know how to meditate. I want to start meditating. I don't know how do we start? I don't know if it's praying or something. If I start meditating, I'm gonna start praying, I guess. You know,
Oh my gosh. Well,
I
we
don't even know.
definitely have to
I
have a
never done it my
session.
whole life.
Oh my
I
gosh.
actually never done it. Like I don't know how it works.
We have to do that. Okay. If you allow me to, I would love to take you through a guided meditation.
For
Let's do
real,
that
yeah,
one
we
day.
good.
Yes, but
What do you
please
do? If
continue. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So what I was saying, right? I believe like you have to feed your mind as well in a way where you have to. Sometimes what I do, I watch things that keep me in the mood of my goal and my vision. You know, like things that push me. Like when it comes to workout, the people that I have on my Instagram, that's the good thing about social media as well. People have social media, but you can use social media as a tool to kind of help you to. I know a lot of people say like social media break you mentally. Like a lot of people have a mental problem because of, you know, social media. But what you can do, you can follow people that actually helping you, inspire you to become the better version of yourself. Let's
For
say you
sure.
like I have my friend here, Joanna. She's like I mean, she should work on all these things about finance. She's gonna help you, to get out of debt, debt and everything like that. So if you follow people like her, or if you follow like people who do like fitness or whatever your goal is,
Mm-hmm.
every single day you're gonna end up watching the same type of content. And even
Mm-hmm.
if you feel lazy, the fact you are watching those people, they're gonna remind you like, you know what, I need to stay on my lane. You get I love
Mm-hmm.
working out. Every time I go to my Instagram, I see people training, and it makes me feel like I gotta train. If you love dancing, it's the same thing. If you love whatever you like, just surround yourself. If you got no friend, social media, you can still follow people that
Mm-hmm.
actually help you to go wherever you are. So every time you're
For
gonna go
sure.
to Instagram, your mind always gonna be ready. That's how I
Yeah,
do. That's how I prepare myself. So
I
what do you think
like
about social
that.
media? What do you think?
Oh gosh, in my top 20 things I learned in 2020, I was saying social media is an amazing tool if you set it up to be. Like I've curated my timeline because what I noticed was, and this is no judgment, but people that are on their journey, like I
Mm.
understand, if you're a fitness model and you're female, and I just have been seeing so much anatomy on my timeline, so I've had to mute those pages because I'm just like,
Yeah, you gotta do that.
you have to. So I've curated my timeline to have nothing but inspirational, motivating people on my timeline. Like my cousin has morning moments that she does. I love them. My aunt always shows me love, and outside of my extended family, I have a bunch of other people that I follow who, when I see them accomplishing things, like you saw my friend Giuseppe, he's just amazing. He is just a monster when it comes to social media. All the content he churns out, he motivates me. So seeing people be their authentic and true selves, oh man, there's nothing like it. Because especially in this world when it's so hard to be who it is that you are, because people condemn you for doing that. I love people who are innately and proudly and passionately who they are. So that's what I do. That's what I use social media as. And then also, I know you're in the UK. I don't know if Clubhouse is quite as popular over there as it is
Yeah,
here,
I
but
heard
the new
about it.
plat.
I'm still waiting for
Oh,
somebody to get me in. I
if
spoke to
I
my boy in
can, I
London.
will.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
we'll link up offline and figure that out because I have an invite. But Clubhouse has been amazing for me. I've met so many amazing people. I was able to link with them and make business connections and things of that nature. So I use it to my advantage and not to my detriment because I know a lot of people unfortunately compare other people to kind of what it is that they have going on in their lives, but it's all an illusion. Not everybody is without any problems or any issues. I myself, I just don't want people to get caught up in thinking that, hey, their life is perfect. Hey, Quincy, their life is perfect. And so should mine be. No, you should be you. Exception of my brother, he knew, Jesse, he knew. And one day I looked in the mirror and I was really at a low point and I didn't want to go on anymore. And so I literally turned the camera on and I started talking. And I didn't post that one. So the one that you'll see, I think I have on like a red headband. That was the first one that I posted, really. It was once I got into my apartment.
yeah,
And I thought to myself, I never would have made it here if I didn't keep the positivity. And I was like, if I'm going through this, a double degree holder, other people
yeah.
are going through different things too. So that's why I did the Truth Thursdays, because in the midst of all the craziness that's going on in this world, you need a little truth and you need a little inspiration to help you go. And so that's why I started them.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you talk about things that actually inspire people, and
Yeah.
because now we see with like everything going on right now with the censure, like censorship, I think people are being a little bit sensitive with like whatever they're saying.
Right.
Anything else you want to add? I know you have a lot of notes there. Anything that you wanted to say relate to eradicating self-doubt?
Yes. Number 5 is my last thing. So thank you for asking. So
Yeah, what
number
is it?
5, yes, it is ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario, and then combat it. Because so many times we doubt doing a new business move or doing a new business venture because we think that, oh, this could happen. I will lose everything. I'll be destitute. I'll be on the street. No, it's not that deep. Once you talk yourself out of it, I did this recently with a client. He and I were talking about a new business venture he wanted to do. And I asked him to literally write down, what is the worst case scenario?
Yeah,
He did that. He saw that that wasn't possible because he'd saved and done X, Y, and Z. So he was able to go forward with the move. The business move he was wanting to do wasn't the right one for him because it was a real estate venture and someone bought the building. But he did the cost differential and did all the numbers and crunched everything. So when another building comes about, he'll be ready because he saw in his mind, it was just this buildup of different things that weren't even realistic. So yeah, just ask
But do you
yourself.
think, but what is the need to have that? You know, like to have the, to think about the worst case scenario. What do you think we should do that for?
Because it eradicates the fear. Because you're fearing the unknown. Because what is fear? False evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. That's what Jan Van Zant says. And so what he had built up in his mind was this false evidential thing, that it wasn't even a possibility. So once you face that and you see that, hey, I can combat this, then you'll be okay.
Good, 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 good. So before we finish, actually, Lynnette, is
Yeah.
anything else you want to say? Anything that you want to share with us today?
Yes, I want to congratulate you for having your Better Yourself podcast for 1 year. I remember when you first said you were going to start it, and I was so excited for you. And I was on your first few guests, and you helped me get out of my comfort zone. That was one of my first public appearances.
Oh,
and I'm
really?
just really, yeah, for sure. And I could have doubted myself and said, no, I've never done it before. No, but I trusted you and I trusted your brand. And it was a great moment. So I want to congratulate you for giving so many people like myself a platform to talk, not be judged about what they feel or do, but to be heard. And I just appreciate you for that. So
Thank you for that. Like I really
Yeah.
appreciate for your feedback, and I have one of my best content I have with you as well. I have like many amazing, like guests actually I'm having in the show, and it's gonna be like 1 year since I've been doing this. I really appreciate everything, and because of you, I'm having like a bigger network. I have a lot of people actually coming back to me. They want to record with me as well, so that's very, very good. So what is your opinion on 2021? Because I know you was talking about eradicating self-doubt. So before we finish 2021, what do you think about the world, the way where we are moving today?
I think for 2021, we're seeing an all new shift to people focusing on what they really want to achieve and going for it. Because I mean, if 2020 has shown us, we can't rely on our governments, no matter where you are. We can't rely on our governments. We can't rely on our employers. We have to rely on ourselves. And that's why I wanted to talk about eradicating self-doubt, because it really is do or die time. It is. And I don't mean to be bleak. I don't mean to be negative. I'm just being real.
But do you think the world gonna be different? Like, are we gonna come back to normal? Do you think things gonna be different or different?
I don't know what normal is kind of anymore. I think life is kind of really what we make it. I don't, I'm a very realist. I'm a pragmatic person. Like, life is literally what we make it. What we put into it is what we're going to get out of it, because we don't have any resources that much right now. I really don't think so. I think we have to really plan for ourselves and realize kind of what is going on. I mean, especially
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Especially in lieu of the events that's happened here in the United States, things aren't too good right now. So you got to build yourself up, and that's why I want to focus on the individual.
Yeah, I think it's all about yourself. I think if you think too much about things going on around the world, you're just gonna go crazy. You're not even gonna want to go outside and trying to do something. So it doesn't sound scary to you, right? Tomorrow it's not scary to you.
No,
it doesn't sound scary.
No, I don't really fear much of anything, because I think that once you take control and realize that your life is literally what you make it, there is nothing to fear. You just have a realization of what's going on. Hey, Shakim, how you doing, love? You have a realization of what's going on, but what is there to fear? It's time to act, baby. It's time to put those plans that we made in 2020 into motion.
Because I know like a lot of people, we spend a lot of time at home, quarantine, all those things. 1 year, people been living like never before. So what have you learned from that? I'm sure you come out with something. So what have you learned from the whole experience? I know it's not over, but like we have like 1 year going crazy. Yeah. So have you learned anything from the pandemic?
Oh, for sure. Oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin. In a nutshell, and this may be cliche, but if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I really do think that if you want to succeed, if you want to rise above the fray, so to speak, you've got to invest everything that you have in yourself. Now's not the time to doubt yourself. Now's not the time to not be disciplined. Now's not the time to not be healthy. Now is the time to really kick all those years into preparation into gear and move forward. That's what I definitely believe. That was my biggest takeaway from 2020, and realize that the people that are for you, keep them around, and the people that are not, and it could be your own family. That was something that I learned this year.
Yeah, because you see a lot of people, like the real people always going to be around you. I think this pandemic has really exposed the relationship that we have with people. Same people, they always, I mean, you just realize there's a lot of things that you actually don't need, because we did survive without a lot of things, actually. So thanks for having you today, Lynnette. And not like, you know, some people wanted me to stay, but yeah, today was actually the first live I've actually done on my, you know, I'm trying to grow this channel, so it's really nice. And Lynnette, I did tell you the other day, like we was gonna have a live together. So it took us like a year to actually finally make it. So damn, I'm like shaking right now. When I finish, I'll be like, oh.
I'm proud
that was
of
really
you.
nice.
You
Yeah,
did
and
well.
I really appreciate it, and I hope everything is going well for you. Are you working on something that you actually want people to know before we go? Maybe you have like any project, anything that people want to work with you, anything? Anything
Yes, thank
that
you
you
so much for asking. Yes, I am. What I've decided to
we gotta
do is,
promote each other, of course, all the time.
of course, we do. We do. What I'm going to be doing is I am really going to be focusing this year into building my YouTube channel into more resources for individuals
Nice.
who, individuals who want to go ahead and produce their own content. I have my master's in fine arts, and so
Good.
I want to help people make quality scripts. I'm a script consultant, so I want to help you with formatting, comma errors, editing errors, and things of that nature. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Found myself through love. I'm helping individuals live their dreams, because just because the world's in a pandemic, you can still create content. And I went and got my expensive master's degree, so you don't have to. So that's what the brand is going to be about. I got my master's degree, so you don't have to. So I'm just going to be putting content on there, helping people with learning the elements of story, how to form a character. So if anyone's interested, please hold me accountable, and let's get this content
I'm glad, because I told you that you need to be out there more, because it's like sometimes it's hard for me to just realize, wait, I think you gotta sell yourself. That's why you was talking about like self-worth and knowing yourself. You gotta do that. And you told me you was gonna start a podcast as well. I don't know if you was true.
No, I did not tell you that. Look at you. You're being slick. Now that I know for a fact, we did not discuss. I know my strengths and weaknesses. I'm telling you, you got to keep. I'll do videos for now.
You got me doing the live. I blame you for that, so it's fine. Anyway, thanks for having you tonight, and you know, I appreciate it. And then see you next time, right?